So I got in trouble 3 times in high school, right? That one, the one I just told you, was the last time. But the first time was I was a freshman, and you don't think you ever met Brandon or not. But he was like obsessed with seeing himself in the paper, because he's very much like that. Anyways, we had this
in the high school paper.
yeah, in the Clifton paper, in the Clifton paper, which is a big thing,
deal.
Big thing, and because like we played football, and like he wanted to see himself in there, and so anyway, the same day we had to do these stupid social studies like things where we had to cut out an article and write about it, and I guess they thought that we had stolen the paper to like do that, but really Brandon wanted to look at himself, so he grabbed it and he threw it away, and like apparently that was a big deal to them, and like they pulled us out, and I was like, what? He was like, why'd you steal the newspaper? It costs so much money. You're in big trouble. We're gonna call the cops. I was like, that's stupid. I'm about to call my dad.
Over a newspaper.
Yeah, and they let it go really quick.
It was like less than $1.
Yeah, it's like 50 cents. Anyways, and so I was like, that's stupid. I'm just gonna call my dad and square this up because my dad was one of those guys. And then finally, they're like, fine, you can go back to class. But they wanted to make it a huge deal, and I got questioned by like every coach I dated. I was like, what is the deal? And I didn't like. They were like, if you don't have a news article in your paper, you should take the 0. And I had no clue what they were talking about all day. But then I remembered, oh yeah, Brandon grabbed that paper and he threw it away. And then that same year, because this is the only class I ever had with my cousin Robbie, right? We had art class first period, and I didn't want to be an artist, but I wanted to class with him because I thought it'd be cool. And so one day, because we had to wear the stupid IDs. Y'all ever had to do that? Or you had school IDs and you had to wear them?
We never had to wear them.
No.
Well, we had to do that.
We went to an actual school.
So we had to do that, and it was like they were like $10 to get, and you had to have lunch attention if you didn't have it, which was stupid. And so one day Robbie
would have been so screwed.
One day Robbie, he didn't have his, and so we're in art class, right? So he literally just cuts out a square of hard paper, cardboard paper, and he literally drew himself an ID. And he wore it for like a month, right? Well, one day I forgot to do that, and I did it for like 3 months. But every person I told was like, hey, you should just do this and you'll be fine. And then somebody got caught doing it and told them that it was me that did it. And somehow that turned into me selling fake IDs at a cut cost, and I was making a profit. And it was like, yeah, he sells them for $3 instead of $5, and he's making all this money. And dude, the principal came to me saying like, yeah, you're about to be suspended, and like all this accusation. I was like, what are you talking about?
Down a dark path.
I'm an entrepreneur, man. We're trying to ruin my dreams.
Down a dark path you don't want to go down, son.
At this point in time, I had already bought a real ID because I was like, like I wanted a real one to actually swipe for lunch or whatever. And so like, I remember coming into class, and one of the head coaches came up to me, and he grabbed my ID real quick, and he was like trying to see if it was because I literally drew myself on it the first time I did it. So he grabbed it from me. He was like trying to see, and he was like, "All right, I'm watching you." Like, why is that such a big deal? And like, it was gonna be they were gonna kick me out of school.
I'll tell you why, PJ. Because people who covet authority positions covet authority. Hence why most absolute power corrupts absolutely. You give someone some power, they can't handle being disobeyed.
That's what happened to PJ.
Yeah. You smoke crack, don't you?
Over the ID.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Well, I should jump off the building.
Boy. Don't you smoke crack?
I love this movie.
Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, sir. You know what that does to you? Huh? No, sir.
You make fake IDs, boy.
It kills your brain cells. Now, when you're destroying your brain cells, you're doing the same thing as killing yourself. You're just doing it slower. Now, I say if you want to kill yourself, don't fuck around with it. Go on and do it. Now, go on and jump. Jump. I don't want to.
I didn't make the IDs, I promise.
Go ahead and jump. You're making the fake IDs. Just kill yourself now.
Kill yourself.
That's literally what it felt like. I was like, I remember because I was in line for lunch, and the principal was a lady, and I saw her stomping over to me, and I had already heard that something was going to happen. I was like, because the whole day was weird. Everybody was like questioning me.
I just like how it went from like, hey, make a cardboard thing to you were selling, like you had this like whole like illegal
and that's how
operation.
stupid like things. Yeah, like they literally thought I was selling fake IDs for $3.
This is literally like the Will
because
Ferrell
you're
turning into a gator.
He's like,
Will Ferrell
you
turning
get me for the
into a
IDs, but not for the sack of weed I'm selling the kids?
I wasn't a pimp. Why do you keep calling me a pimp? I wasn't a pimp.
Because I remember came up to me and she was like she stomped over and she got to me and she waited, and I was like just like took a step forward because we were in line waiting to get my mashed potatoes, and she was like, so I just want to let you know, I know we didn't catch you this time, but you keep running these fake IDs.
They're Charlie Day-ing you with all the connected dots up there. Like, I know that Mr. Ramirez is a part of this entire operation.
She was like, you keep running these fake IDs, you're gonna go to jail. And I was like, it was the second time that year I had been threatened with jail.
I'm imagining a crayon drawn ID
It was
with like a
not
smiley
colors. It
face.
was
I
not
can see
colors.
PJ's, picture on the top, and then little strings going down to like El Chapo.
I know this is connected to the
connected
drugs.
to the
There's
cartel.
drugs in this somehow. Why do you keep saying that? It has nothing to do with
He
drugs.
runs a
Like,
cartel.
it was literally the second time I was accused of going to jail that year, and again, this is like when my dad was like in the city council and stuff like that, and I was like I didn't want to be that kid who let me call my dad.
this.
I wanted to be like that.
Harry Potter.
I remember just thinking
You didn't have any parents.
No, the mouth boy, bro. Just read books. Read
Oh,
books.
they told him you don't have any parents. Like, oh, that's sad.
Not Batman,
He
bro.
has Bruce Willis.
it was, I remember being there and I was like,
Yeah, dude, my dad saved Nakatomi Plaza
oh, man.
on Christmas.
I remember being there and I was like, how did it get to this? I remember because the whole time I'm just taking one step forward while she's talking to me, and she just follows me with one step forward. And I remember thinking how did it get to this? And all of blame was I blamed Robbie over and over again. I was like, he's the guy that was like, hey PJ, just make one. And
You
I
were
was
his
like,
front man.
And so
Took
it was
the
so
fall.
stupid. And the funniest thing about it is Robbie, I think
Turns out he was actually running the illegal ID
here's what I
making.
think he did, because he was such a. This is why I became such a troll too, because Robbie was such a troll in high school, and I really think he was going around telling people I was selling fake IDs, because he did that stuff all the time. He just wanted to had a blast telling lies, and so I think he was like, yeah, he sold me one for $3. Hey, yeah, did
That's
you hear
so
me?
good.
PJ discount. It was
You could have been
$5.
making this movie all along, or this money
who
all
is that
along.
guy?
Because I remember because we had the same lunch, right? And I remember looking over and seeing Robbie over there as I'm talking to her, laughing his butt off because he knew exactly what was happening, and I was just like, okay, I won't do it again. It was just so funny. Anyways, so that's the 3 times I got in trouble in high school, and 2 were
I'm
just
just
absolutely
imagining,
stupid.
BJ in line waiting for mashed potatoes.
I just imagine this
What?
big, grumpy, Karen meme, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, that's basically what she was.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I just want my
She- what she did
potatoes.
was-
potatoes.
Like taters.
It's so goofy.